Hello, this is Shelly, and I am going to give you a little bit of a demonstration of Descript. And the kind of use case that we're using here is to create an advertisement for our Learning in Depth projects. So for those of you who are not in the Learning in Depth course that I'm mentoring at the moment, we have spent the last 4 weeks researching our specific topics, and now for the 5th week we're doing a quest to actually create a commercial or an advertisement for something related to our topic. And so when I did this, I used Descript to create my advertisements. Now this is totally optional, but I found Descript to be such a handy tool and surprisingly easy to use. It's a tool that you can use for podcast editing, so for audio editing and for video editing. So let me show you why Descript is so magical. Let me see if I can take you back here to this where I did my advertisement. I can show you the timeline there because I'm not working in it. This is all very meta because I'm busy recording in Descript and demonstrating Descript. So what you'll see here is that we've got a transcripted like document looking thing, like text based thing on this side. We've got the visuals on this side, and we've got the audio pattern at the bottom here, the timeline. So what you do in Descript is you mainly focus all your editing around here in the text section of things, which makes it really accessible. What I've also done here is I've added in like B-reel footage, stock footage that Descript has available. So you'll see here that they've got stock videos. If I hover over this, you'll see it like very slowly hovers, whatever that water is hovering, that waterfall is going. There's cute little puppies and piglets, oh my goodness, sleeping on cats. There's Giphy stickers you can add into the whole thing. Some weird things happening there. And then there's also audio. So you can get music and you can get different sound effects as well. Of course, you also can record your own voice, which is what this will be doing in a minute. You'll be able to see what we're doing here. So this is what I did. So step 1 is to actually record the ad itself. So if we are to go here, I can go into this Descript demo. So the way Descript works is it's got project level. So that's the top level. That's this level here. And then it has got composition. So within the project, you can have different compositions. So for example, what I'm going to do now, I'm going to use the recording that I did for the Tharp Ridge Resort commercial, and I'm going to come and bring it in here to my demo thing, and I hope it's going to work. So that's at the project level. Now just a little side note, you can sign up definitely for a free trial of Descript to try this out, see if you like using it. So here I've got a bunch of recordings that I've already done, and then I've also got a bunch of stock media that I have sort of downloaded from Descript's stock library. Once I've use those, they then end up in this project setting. Underlord is a bunch of very cool AI tools that you can use to remove ums and ahs and like and like and kind of like all these verbal tics that we have. You can go and remove those things in a jiffy with Underlord, the AI helper. On the basic plan you get a certain amount, and then kind of you get more and more ums. You can remove more and more ums as you need to do it. I'm not going to use it for this one because I just said all the time and I don't want to remove that. So what you would go and do is you'd go start a new project. You will get a composition like this, and you'll have a few options on screen. You also will have the option to choose a video or an audio project. So if you want to go for this video idea, go choose video, and then you can go and hit record there. So let me just show you there. You can choose to record audio only. You can record only your camera with the audio, or you can do like what I'm doing now, like a camera and then screen. And you can also record with others using a tool, I think, called Squadcast. I don't know if they've actually incorporated that straight into Descript. Okay, but let's head back to the project here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and grab that recording that I did, which is this one. This is a previous recording I've done in my take one, but I want this one because this is my Tharbridge voiceover, and I'm going to say insert into script. So that's what I needed to do. I needed to insert into script. Okay, so let's just do that, and there we go. It inserts it as text, you can see there. And let's just show it in the timeline. There it is in the timeline. Now, if you need to go and edit any of this, which I will need to do. You see, I was, when I'm like, you're joking, it's not recording. It is recording. So I would then go and edit that out. So if you go and look at what I did eventually do, edited all of, I ended with dive in at Tharbridge Resort today. And if I go back here to my demo, dive in at Tharbridge Resort today. These little dots indicate a gap of silence. So you can see the text and the audio kind of play together, and as you edit the text, it edits the audio. So now if we want to go and remove all of this, oh, you're joking, it's not recording. It was recording, don't worry, Shelly. So you can go like that, and there we go. It's taken out that whole gap of silence, and it has also removed the end bit, which often you need to remove the end bit. And you often need to remove the beginning bit because you're like, oh, I'm already. So then you can just, what I often do is I just do this and drag it and then on the timeline. Or what that would have done there is it would have had that gap. You can also just go and select that and delete it. Okay. So now what I did is Descript works with these scenes. So that is this backslash, I think it's a backslash, let's just call it a slash, and that then creates a new scene on the side here. So there's only one scene at the moment, whereas if you see in my final one, I had many different scenes, and it's at those points where it changes the visuals on the screen, or it adds in music, or it adds in a sound effect, or that kind of thing. All of those need to be added in within a scene. And so you can see when you create a scene, and you do that by pressing the slash, it will create a new little thumbnail over there. So let's go here to my demo and let's create a few scenes here. So like say we want to go there, the state of the art gondolas, you just go like that. If you want to, you can hit enter and like keep it in paragraphs, but you can add in scenes just like in the middle of nowhere like that. But now obviously there's nothing happening on screen here. So what we're going to do is we're going to add a little bit of music. Let's first add video. So here we've got all these different videos that I already have, but say we want to go and add some different kind of videos. You're going to go here to the stock videos, you're going to go to visuals, and then you're going to search. And so maybe we can just search ocean and see what it gives us. So these videos are the ones that you probably want. Those go on for long. These GIFs are like very short, and then they like repeat. So it's like almost 2 seconds, and then it repeats for the whole scene. So just a little tip is put in a scene marker, like, yeah, sort of midway down, because as you change something above, it changes everything below that until the next scene. So if you've got a video that you want just to stay like in a base state, like have a scene, make that scene, and then you can go and adjust as you're going along. I don't know if that makes sense, but as you learn, you'll see what I mean. So now we want like a video to start with. Let's see. Anyway, we're gonna import that video. So all I'm doing is I just click on it and it puts it above the audio that I've already recorded. So if we go and demonstrate it like this,
into the ultimate,
I'm just gonna get there.
Looking for an adventure? Dive into the ultimate sea escape at Tharbridge Resort, nestled in the heart of the Mid-Atlantic Range.
And you can see as the video ends there, it ends. So my video is not long enough, so I might want another little video to come in there so I can go show all and actually see all of the videos. Now you are limited to 12 videos until you upgrade. Now I am on a paid plan, but I need to upgrade further. So this looks very cool, and maybe we need some kind of diving thing. So, but say we want just this ocean, that'll be cool. And now it's going to insert it at this point where it's inserted it above. So you can just drag it on the timeline and go and pop it next, and then it'll like go after each other. If you want to cut this one off, you can use this little tool here. Make sure you're on that select tool, and then you can drag things around like I'm doing now, and you can see now that will go from this point.
Escape at Tharp Ridge Resort, nestled in the heart of the Mid-Atlantic Range.
Now at that point I wanted a different video, but that's where you can just go and shorten it up and then go and put the next trade your skis for scuba gear, and like maybe go and search for skis or something else. Okay, so I think that gives you how you can use the videos. If you want to also, you can use the GIFs. So let's just say we use this GIF. I'm going to put it in here. Let's just put in another scene there, and so that it's shorter, and we put in that GIF. I just want to show you how it goes. See, it like doubles it up or quadruples it up, and it like sort of repeats.
At Tharp Ridge, you'll navigate towering underwater mountains and explore hidden ocean,
which is pretty cool. Then if you want to change the background, that also might be something you might want to do. Yes, scene level. And then background, just go plus, and then you can change it from, it then goes to white, but you can go and change it. I've got a couple of saved colors there, but if we wanted like this oceanic blue, you could change it to that. When you've got these like smaller videos and you want some kind of color background, you can also go and add all the different elements like text and subtitles and that kind of thing. So this is where your scenes are quite important. So if I go and add a title here, so say I say Tharp Ridge, put it there, and then you can go and make that smaller. So like let's just make it 150 so that it sits nicely there. You can move it around like this. Now that's going to sit, you can see where it's underlined is where the text is going to be. So if I click out of that, there's no text. Click into that, that's where the text is in that scene. But then once that scene exits, no more text. Okay. If I take away that scene, take away this scene and like put it, just not put a scene here. And I take away this one. I'll just delete it. Then you see all of this stays from that point all the way through. So we're going to put that scene back. In fact, I'm going to do an undo, because undo is your friend as well. Because otherwise it spills the scene over. So that's why it's good to put your scene markers in first, and then it won't, then like your scenes stay contained and you can see the scenes sitting on the side over here. And yeah, it will take some experimenting, but it is super fun. And then you can also play around with where you place your video. There's a position button. Let me just click here. So if you want this as like a little corner thing, you just click on your video. So that could be typically your video of you talking. Click on shapes, and then you could say circle, and it makes it a big circle, but maybe you want it like in the bottom right or something like that. And then you do that, and then like that can be that video often of a person talking, that kind of effect. Or if you want it to then fill the canvas, you can get it back to fill the canvas, or to fit the canvas. That is depending on your video ratio. So like with that other GIF, you could get it to fit the canvas. If you really wanted such a thing, you could say fit canvas, full canvas. There we go. And then it fills the whole canvas. That's what you could do that. But obviously with those little GIFs, it does start getting a little bit grainy, because now you've zoomed up your image. Okay. All right, I think that is everything. I'm going to pause my video while I think if there's anything else I need, which is also you can do. On the right-hand side of your screen, you will see there's a stop and a pause button when you're recording. So I'm going to press pause now just to collect my thoughts. Thoughts collected. What I did is I just pressed play on the right-hand side of my screen. I hope I'm going to be pointing in the right place. It could be that side of your screen where I'm going to place my video. Just press play again and it will continue recording. And what I want to show you is some music. So I'm going to come right back to the beginning of my little set here, or my timeline. Click there, or you can click in the text. Have I told you that you can delete like these big long pauses? I don't want such big long pauses. So I can go and select that and then delete it like that. Or what you can do is you can take it like this and you can just bring on the timeline. You can just bring it closer here so that we don't have such a long silence, because we are paying for time in a commercial here. Let's get back to our music. So that also will be in stock, and you will then go and look in audio, and you will go and look for different music. But you can also go and search. I mean, it's not automatically searched ocean type music. Here's the magic of the ocean. That might be a cool one. So I'm just going to listen to it. You probably can't hear it with my mic, but that sounds amazing. That sounds really cool and very cinematic. That sounds very cool. So what I'm going to do is you're just going to hit that plus, and that will insert the audio as a new layer. But now listen here. I don't know if you'll be able to hear this, but let's just show you.
Looking for an adventure? Dive into the ultimate sea escape at Tharp Ridge Resort, nestled in the heart of the...
What happens is my voice becomes overpowered by the music. And this example actually is not too bad because it's like such a calm, oceany kind of sound. But if you've got some thumping tunes in the background, then you've got a problem. So what you do is you click on your audio track where your voice is, and then you go to layer. You do go to layer, but you must just be clicked on the audio track, and then you go to this audio effects, and if you don't see ducking, that's what you're looking for, ducking, then click the plus button. But I've got ducking here because I use it all the time, and you're going to switch it on, toggle that on, and then you're going to set the level. And what that does is it ducks the audio, and yes, so it ducks the audio below your voice so that your voice, the voiceover, is what comes through. And so you say, okay, how much ducking? That 10% means that it's going to turn the volume of the music down to 10% of its 100% volume. So that's quite soft. So depending on the music, you're going to have to play around with it. But I'm going to go with 50% here. I think would be fine for this particular one. And I'm going to take it like around about here where it's louder.
Chocolates in our submarine lounge. Relax in our seaweed spa, or enjoy a hot chocolate. Relax in our seaweed spa.
You see, there's something that I will just take out. That's where Descript is amazing, because I took that again and you just take it again. So there, I can just delete that. But that music was okay because it's so chill. It's fine. But I would say a 50% ducking is actually quite high. I used to, on my podcast, I would go with 22% was my perfect number, but that was with our particular audio and the actual track that I used to use. But play around with that. I would say 25. Let's just get it to like a nice.
Relax in our seaweed spa.
I had to take that another time. So let's just take that out. I couldn't say chocolate clearly. All right.
Underwater range. Relax in our seaweed spa, or enjoy a hot chocolate in our submarine lodge.
All right. So there we go. And you had that. You saw that little jump to play ahead.
And no need to worry about those pesky earthquakes.
I think that music is too chill, so we can go back to the stock music and then maybe like let's just search for, I don't know, let's go funk. So you can search a style of music, and let's see that. I mean, if that's more the vibe you're going for, you could go with that. Then what I would do is just take out Magic of the Ocean. Sorry, Magic of the Ocean. Go back to the beginning. And then we just insert a new track here. So I'm going to add that there. Summer piano, soul house, instrumental. And what you also might want is that you don't want it to just immediately start with your audio. So what I do is I hover there to make that little sign, that little bracket with the arrows, then right click or double click, or two click, and say I want to add a gap clip. And this is where I do sometimes have some problems. There we go. So just try it again. Add gap clip, and it will add, and then I use command zoom 1 second there, and we open that up to and then I just open it up. So like if I want 5 seconds or 4 seconds beginning, and then I drag the music to the beginning, and then let's just see how that sounds, and then I will be done, at least for this. There we go.
Looking for an adventure? Dive into the ultimate sea escape at Dark Ridge Resort, nestled in the heart of the Mid-Atlantic.
And what happens with the ducking is that it plays it loud when there's a gap clip here, and then it ducks it down when you start talking, which is quite cool. So like say I'm just going to add a gap clip here, gap clip, and then we can just open that up. Just so you can hopefully hear. I don't know if you're going to be able to hear it, but let's try.
Built in the heart of the Mid-Atlantic Range.
Louder.
Trade your skis for scuba gear and your snow boots for...
And then it drops it. Sorry, I moved my mic, so sorry if I've made a noise there. I think that's quite enough now for you to just like have a gander at this. So write your script. Step 1 would be here to come and record your script. That is slightly alarming. It's recording again. Okay, all right, before I mess this up, I'm going to stop my recording here, and let's hope this all works. Good luck, enjoy.